Time now for that morning rush.
And we'll kick things off with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. Some high clouds out there, but there's no rain or snow. Models want to put out a few spot showers up there, Union, Colfax County. It's not much. This is not going to be widespread. This cold front that's moving in today is mostly dry, so it drops air temperatures a few degrees out over the northeastern plains. The rest of us will see more of a cool down as we get into tomorrow. Sarah?
City Council voted 5-3 in favor to spend $25,000 to have the city's internal auditor review the work being done by court-appointed monitor James Ginger. City Attorney Jessica Hernandez called the measure a fact-gathering exercise for City Council, saying that this audit will help Council select a budget for Dr. Ginger going forward. The measure comes at a time when tensions have been high after the city filed a motion arguing that Ginger was biased against APD. Why City Council needs to establish a new budget coming up in the 5 Facts. Adam?
Improvements to Alameda are on hold for now. This after City Councilors approved a study on how they'll impact people who live nearby. For years, the city has planned to take Alameda from I-25 to Edith and add 2 more lanes, but City Councilor Brad Winter now wants more time to think about the project. Now the city, along with the county and Rio Rancho, are slated to study the long stretch between Jefferson and Coors before making any changes. That bill is expected to halt the city's $8.1 million widening project.
We will have a
Mayor-elect Tim Keller will take office in 10 days. He'll be laying out his plans for the city's transition to the new administration. That does include what he'll be doing with APD. Keller says he will appoint an interim police chief who will start December 1st. He says that person will be local but does not already work with an APD. The team will also look at who they'll be keeping at City Hall and who they'll be replacing, a process that he wants to keep open to the public.
A former northern New Mexico elementary teacher is preparing to go to trial after he turned down another plea deal. Gary Greger is accused of raping and molesting young girls at Fairview Elementary in Espanola about 10 years ago. Greger was supposed to take a plea deal yesterday, but for the second time, he rejected the offer, taking the case to trial in January.
A physician's assistant's medical license is under suspension this morning as he faces accusations of raping a young girl. Back in September, James Beverly was arrested at the family practice clinic where he works in Cedar Crest. This after a girl claimed he abused her for months. Beverly is also being sued by Bank of America for failure to make payments on that property.
Developing right now, Charlie Rose is not going to work at CBS and PBS today. He's suspended amid accusations of sexual misconduct over 2 decades. According to a Washington Post report, at least 8 women say the CBS This Morning co-host made improper sexual advances towards them. The veteran journalist has apologized for that behavior.
AT&T says it plans to win a legal battle with the federal government. On Monday, the Justice Department filed an antitrust lawsuit to block the company's planned merger with Time Warner, saying that the deal hurt competition and consumers. Some critics believe the DOJ's lawsuit is an effort by the Trump administration to harm CNN, which is owned by Time Warner.
Whitefish Energy is no longer working to restore power in Puerto Rico. This ahead of the December 1st end date to its contract. The company says Puerto Rico's electric utility owes it $83 million. The contract was originally for $300 million, but Puerto Rico's governor moved to void it after coming under fire for giving such a big deal to a young company with just 2 full-time employees. At least half of all Puerto Ricans are still without power today. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index at a 0, looking at high temperatures in those 60s. 65 is a forecast high. Mostly sunny skies on top, no rain or snow, and winds look to stay less than 15 miles per hour out of the north. Crystal?
Here's some new facts for you on this Tuesday morning. Uber is rolling out new tools for its customers. Live location sharing allows passengers to share their exact location with drivers and request for a guest. It lets people hail a ride for someone else, it is. Uber is also expanding its beacon option, which is a device that lights up in a driver's window to help customers find them.
New this morning, a common shoulder surgery may not be helpful in reducing shoulder pain. Researchers from Oxford found decompression surgery didn't reduce pain any more than placebo surgery. In the U.S., shoulder pain accounts for 4.5 million visits to the doctor every year.
Wow, that's a large number. On to a new study. It finds maintaining sufficient vitamin D may help prevent the onset of inflammatory diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis. Researchers at the University of Birmingham also say if vitamin D is used in patients with RA, they may need to be prescribed much higher doses than usual because RA leads to an insensitivity to vitamin D. Kristen.
Time now for a check on traffic. Not seeing anything major as far as crashes or incidents go, but we do have I-25 southbound near Osuna down to about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So some volume there, but everything else seems to be moving smoothly.
Okay, listen to this. If you're planning on indulging in pie this Thanksgiving, there's a good chance it will be pumpkin. A new Delta Dental survey says 36% of Americans prefer pumpkin pie as their holiday dessert. Rounding out the top 5 pie favorites, that is, are pecan, apple, sweet potato, and chocolate.
President Trump and First Lady Melania are set to take part in their first turkey pardoning ceremony. The White House says the birds will live out their days at Virginia Tech. Later today, the first family will leave for Mar-a-Lago, Florida, where they're set to spend the Thanksgiving holiday.
Oh. Finally, 2 giant pandas that were captured in China will be released back into the wild. The pair, a male and female, have received 2 years of survival training in the protection base in China. The 2 will undergo a physical examination today before they're finally released into a natural reserve.
All right, time for the 5 facts.
We do start with number 5. A push to preserve some of the classic architecture along Route 66 in Albuquerque. It's gaining steam. Buildings like Occidental Life, the Sunshine, Rosenwald, they're all on the National Register of Historic Places, saving them from the wrecking ball. But now City Council is introducing a resolution for a Route 66 historic building inventory. This is to document and preserve buildings more than 50 years old. That would open the door for state and federal tax credits to help pay for maintenance and even restoration.
Number 4, state police are no longer actively searching for an Albuquerque man who went missing during a family hunting trip near Pecos. Multiple search and rescue crews have been looking for Stanley Vigil for 2 weeks with no luck. Stanley's been missing since early November after he went on a hunting trip with family near Berea Peak. Some family and friends are now planning to conduct their own search.
At number 3, warmer today as we climb back into the mid-60s. Sunshine with high clouds overhead. No rain or snow to worry about here in Albuquerque. Winds will be out of the northeast across northeastern plains. That's a cold front moving in. So the northeastern plains will see cooler temperatures today. The rest of us, including Albuquerque, slightly cooler tomorrow, but warmer by Thanksgiving Day.
On to number 2. We're waiting for President Trump's response this morning after a federal judge permanently blocked his sanctuary cities executive order. That order cut funding from cities, counties, and states, including Bernalillo County, which would limit cooperation with U.S. immigration authorities. U.S. District Court Judge William Orrick issued the ruling yesterday in lawsuits brought by 2 California counties, saying President Trump cannot set new conditions on spending approved by Congress.
On to number 1 now. The saga between city officials and the man hired to monitor APD continues this morning. New overnight, City Council voted to move forward with an audit that would look into the performance of James Ginger. That's the court-appointed federal monitor. The audit is supposed to make sure the money the city pays Ginger equals the work that he's completing. So why now? Well, the budget was established for Ginger for the first 4 years. The city is now in its 4th year with Ginger. The councilors who are sponsoring the bill say they want to make sure taxpayer dollars are being spent appropriately. Those against say it's just bad timing, though. The city recently filed a motion claiming Ginger was biased against APD.